Hello friends, welcome to physics class. Today we discuss the Wheatstone bridge. The Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of four resistances used to determine one of these resistances quickly and accurately in terms of the remaining three resistance. This method is introduced by the scientist named Charles F. Wheatstone in 1843. So, this arrangement consists of four resistors connected as the arms of a quadrilateral. Here we have a quadrilateral A, B, C, D, and all this arm of this quadrilateral are four resistors. The resistors are P, Q, R, N, S. These four resistors are connected at the arms of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. So this arrangement is known as Wheatstone bridge. Usually this method is used to find one of this resistance. If one of the resistance is unknown and all other three resistance are known, we can find the unknown resistance by using the three known resistance. And this is the one of the accurate method to determine the unknown resistance. And this method is known as Wheatstone bridge method. And this arrangement is known as Wheatstone bridge. It consists here in this Wheatstone bridge. We have four resistors P, Q, R and S. Here the P and Q, the arm containing the resistance P and Q are usually known as ratio arm. The arm containing the resistance P and Q are known as ratio arm. And the arm containing the resistance R, that is the arm AD, is known as standard arm. Standard arm. And usually we connecting the unknown resistance in this arm DC can be called as unknown arm. In this four resistors, say P, Q, R and S. Let us say S is a unknown resistance. P, Q, R are known resistors. P and Q are known as ratio arm. That is in the arm AB and BC we connected the resistors P and Q are known as ratio arm. And the arm AD which contain the resistance R is known as standard arm. And we connecting the unknown resistance in this arm. That is unknown resistance is S. First we are adjusting the resistance in the arm R in such a way that you can see one galvanometer is connected between these 2 points B and D, and one battery is connected between this A and C. Here we giving a battery of EMF E, and a galvanometer is connected between these 2 points B and D. First what we are doing is we are adjusting the resistance in the arm AD, that is the resistance R is adjusted in such a way that no current is passing through the galvanometer. No current passing through the galvanometer means we are making the Ig is equal to 0. And the galvanometer show null deflection. There is no deflection in the galvanometer. By adjusting the resistance in the standard arm, that is we are adjusting the value of R in such a way that the current passing through the arm BD, that is which contain the galvanometer G, we are making the current to 0 and the galvanometer showing a null deflection. That's Ig is equal to 0. And by the time this Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced, the Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced if no current is passing through this galvanometer. And by the time we have a relation between these resistors, that's P by Q is equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. This is known as balancing condition of this Wheatstone bridge. That is, if no current is passing through this galvanometer, that's Ig is equal to 0. By the time P by Q is equal to R by S. And we can easily find the unknown resistance S. And this is known as balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge. Now let us see how can you derive this balancing condition by using the concept of Kirchhoff's law. For that, Here we apply the Kirchhoff's second law to the loop A, B, D, A. You take this loop A, B, D, A, this, and we are moving through this loop in clockwise direction. And you can see a current I is drawn from the cell. While at the point A, is split into two, I1, the current passing through P, and I2, the current passing through R. We can write I is equal to I1 plus I2. By junction rule, we can write as I1 plus I2 is equal to I. The current I split into I1 and I2. Now apply Kirchhoff's law in this loop A, B, D, A. In this closed loop, apply Kirchhoff's second law, voltage law or loop law. That first I1 into P. You can write as I1 into P. Then Ig current is passing through this galvanometer. Say the resistance of this galvanometer is capital G. Capital G is the resistance of the galvanometer. So Ig into G. Ig current is passing through the galvanometer having a resistance G. So Ig into G. Minus I2 into R, because the current is opposite direction of the motion. That's I2 into R. That's equal to 0 because in this loop there is no source of EMF. The source of EMF is equal to 0. So that's equal to 0. I1P plus Ig into G minus I2 into R is equal to 0. Now we take another loop B, C, D, B. Apply the Kirchhoff's second law to the loop B, C, D, B. Again, we are moving through the clockwise. That is, while moving from B to C, we have a current I1 minus Ig, which is passing through the resistance Q. So, I1 minus Ig into Q. Now, while D to B, from C to D, we have I2 plus Ig current. From C to D, we have a current I2 plus Ig passing through the resistor S. So, actually this current is moving opposite direction of our traversal. So, we are writing that's minus I2 plus Ig into S. And Ig current is passing through this galvanometer opposite direction of our traversal. That's why minus Ig into G. Here also there is no source of EMF. That's equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Now we have these two equations. And suppose we adjusting the value of resistance R and we making the current Ig is equal to 0. That is, the bridge is balanced. In the balanced condition, we know that Ig is equal to 0. Now substitute Ig is equal to 0 in these two equations. So first in this equation, I1P, the second term, that comes to 0 because Ig is equal to 0. Minus I2 into R is equal to 0. Or otherwise, we can rearrange like this way. Take this one to right side. So I1P is equal to I2 into R. Put equation 1. Now substitute the value of Ig is equal to 0 in this equation. So I1 minus 0 into Q. So can write as I1 into Q. Minus I2 plus 0 into S. So can write as I2 into S. 0 into G, that's equal to 0. That's equal to 0. And take this I2 into S to right side. I1Q is equal to I2 into S. Put equation 2. Now, if you are dividing equation 1 by 2, that is equation 1 by 2 become P by Q is equal to R by S. That prove our balanced condition. We told the balancing condition of this Wheatstone bridge is P by Q is equal to R by S. Now, if you want, you can find this unknown resistance. The S is equal to, how can you write the unknown resistance? S is equal to R into Q by P. R into Q by P. So, that's the unknown resistance. S is equal to R into Q by P. So, we can easily determine the unknown resistance by using this method. Actually, this balancing condition or the sensitivity of this Wheatstone bridge depends upon the value of resistance that you have taken in this 4 arms. Or when you do say this Wheatstone bridge is most sensitive, Actually, the sensitivity can be defined like this way. We can say it is most sensitive. A Wheatstone bridge is said to be sensitive if it show a large deflection in the galvanometer for a small change of resistance in the resistance arm. You know that to make it a balanced condition, we will adjust the value of resistance in this arm. So by this time, if it's showing a large change in deflection by changing a small value of resistance, then we can say this Wheatstone bridge is sensitive. If it is good sensitive, we have a high sensitive, we can measure even a very small resistance most accurately. Okay, so to make it sensitive, what you can do? To make it sensitive, the factors affecting the sensitivity are, one is the relative magnitude of resistance in the forearm. That is, the bridge is most sensitive if all four resistors are in the same order. So better sensitivity will achieve if you are taking all these four resistors almost in the same order. And if you are taking all these four resistors approximately in the same order, it is getting sensitive. And the second factor is the relative position of the battery and the galvanometer. So these are the two factors which affecting the sensitivity of a Wheatstone bridge. Once more, a Wheatstone bridge is said to be sensitive if it shows a large deflection in the galvanometer for a small change of resistance in the resistance arm. So to make it sensitive, we want to find what are the factors affecting this sensitivity. One is the relative magnitude of the resistance in the forearm. We already told, to make it most sensitive, better you take all these four resistors approximately in the same order. And the second factor is the relative position of the battery and the galvanometer. That's all about the Wheatstone bridge, and it is a good method or very easy method to find the or to measure the unknown resistance if you know these three resistors. Thank you.